Do you want to just jump right in?
Might as well.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Erika.
And I'm Sarah. This is the Living Understaffed podcast, the chaos we can't clock out of. Erika, how's your week been?
Fucking bonkers. But it's fine. Just a lot of like personal stuff, and then work has been really busy. But work has been actually been good because this last week, it's been the amount of busy where I constantly have things to do, but I'm not like overwhelmed. So I'm like, cool, I can just go to work, I can be in the zone, and I can just do the things that I need to be doing, and then I can go home and deal with it. And the personal stuff is sort of like, at least as far as things that I directly need to deal with, has sort of like slowed down a bit. So that's been really nice. I am moving bedrooms, and my bedroom is currently downstairs, and I picked the smallest bedroom so that I could have my own bathroom, but I really, really want a bigger closet so bad. So I am moving upstairs, and I'm sharing a bathroom, which is fine. And I'm excited about that. And I'm doing it all by myself because I'm a strong, independent woman and I don't need a man. I don't know how I'm going to get my mattress up the stairs, but like I am sleeping up there tonight. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I am getting that. The mattress is the only thing that I can't carry up those stairs by myself.
But put an extra sheet around the backside of it and just drag that.
Yeah,
bitch.
I was gonna say I for sure can do it. It's a memory foam mattress too, so it's like flip floppy. So
Yeah, it's flip floppy, but going up that, like, I'm thinking about it, going around the corner of like the entrance into the room and the bathroom, and then coming back around the corner and up that small flight of stairs. You have so many walls that it can lean up against.
Yeah.
So if you use that,
and it'll be easier to move it around those corners.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Less space to fall down, and then you have to pick it back up.
Yeah.
Other than that one room right at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I mean, I am, but it's fine. Yeah, I've got this. Like I said, come hell or high water, I'm fucking sleeping in that bedroom tonight. Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been focusing on right now. Is it a coping mechanism? Probably, but we don't need to talk about it.
Not that we talk about coping mechanisms or mental health or being understaffed in general. You're right.
No, it's fine.
Dude, my key goal in life is to just simply be in denial. So that's
seriously, or just be like
my entire mantra right now.
Smooth brain Daisy, the life you lead when you're not burdened by thoughts.
Was it you and I that talked about that, or was that? No, this is something that we talked about at work like 100 years ago. We were like, man, unintelligent people live the best life because they just don't. And I'm not saying that I'm overly intelligent. No. I'm smart-ish, but like my anxiety is so bad that I like am constantly thinking about all of the things, and not even just people who are unintelligent, but people who don't have anxiety,
people who don't overthink.
I want that.
Yes.
How does that work? Your life must be so great. Like if I have any fantasies in life, it's to not have anxiety, and I'm wildly jealous of people who don't experience it.
Yeah, I take medication for my anxiety, and it's a lot better than it used to be. But yeah, if I could just not have anxiety, that would be amazing.
I think we would both live very different lives.
I think we would too.
Very different.
I think we would too. Also, are you ready to be very proud of me?
Of course.
You know what's in this cup right now?
It better be Water or vodka?
Water.
Because that's my only option right now.
It's water.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I know. It's my second cup of
Impressive.
water today. And it's only noon. Usually that's like my whole day. I drink 2 cups of water, maybe. So don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that.
There was somebody going by the window. What? Listen, I am proud of you because you're showing it on the pod, which means you're proud of yourself, which means you're going to do it more, which is great. But the amount of water that you don't drink is
self-destructive. Seriously. Sometimes I'll go a whole day.
I am drinking electrolyte water.
Sometimes I go like a whole day without having to pee, and I'm like, I'm probably really dehydrated. But then I was actually hydrated yesterday, and I had to get up and go to the bathroom 4 times last night because I have the bladder of a child.
Yes.
Rude.
There are downsides.
Yes.
There are downsides. I'm drinking electrolyte water because I've had hot girl tummy problems for the whole week. And I've either been throwing up or it coming out the other end in disgusting amounts. And so when I woke up yesterday morning, you know how when you're dehydrated and all of your muscles and all of your veins just feel tight and like crinkly? Yeah. So I got 2 of these bad boys last night going to, or yesterday afternoon going to Walmart because I was like, all right, I need to do something. And then I actually slept last night.
And
not only that, but I woke up and took a nap this morning. I was late for the recording.
I know.
Because I was like,
usually it's me. Usually it's me. You're like, hey, are we still recording at noon? And I'm like, it's like exactly 12. And I'm like, oh, fuck. But I'm prepared.
Yeah. I had an alarm set. Yeah. I know. Today you were on it. And my mental health has tanked so much this week that work is super frustrating. Personal life is super frustrating. Family is super frustrating. And I feel very behind on all of the things. And surprisingly enough, the only thing that I'm not really like behind on, that I'm kind of on the same schedule, is the podcast. So I'm like, well, that's something.
Right?
Like that's something. But yeah, this week has just been one thing after another, after another, after another. And I can't catch up. I had a friend over yesterday to cook dinner and watch movies and just hang out. And I depression napped 75% of the time they were here. I'm like, I drove them home, and I had a panic attack in the car afterwards, and I called them and I was like, I am really sorry. I didn't realize how bad it was until I slept through 5 of the 6 hours you were here. So sorry.
Yeah.
So going through it.
I was in a bit of a stress fog, I think, because I definitely get in I just head down, put one foot in front of the other kind of situation. And I think I'm slowly coming out of it. I think I've been in it for a really long time, and then something will happen and I'll be like, wow, I did not realize how much mental energy I was spending on this thing. And I think that's kind of where I was at. I've been like slowly like letting things go and being like, oh, wow, if I let things go, I have so much more like space for other things. Like I started painting, not a lot or anything fancy, but I just didn't have the space in my brain to do that, to like even want to do it or try. And now that I do, I have, a lot more of myself to give to myself instead of other people or other things or like working through stuff or whatever. So that has been a little bit eye-opening because I don't think I realized where I was at, but we're learning. But also, I love you. I'm sorry you're depressed.
Thanks for laughing at my depression, Erika. You're a good friend. You're a good friend.
Someone's got to. If I don't, who will?
Oh my God. Oh, it's been a week. I swear to God.
Hello. My name is Alan Harrow. I have recently released my debut horror novel, Black Double Volume 1 Trap. You can find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Google Play. The book is about a mentally disturbed 19-year-old man who fights his inner turmoil through a post-apocalyptic world full of horrifying nightmarish monsters. Think of Silent Hill if it was like on a global scale. That's essentially what you'll be reading, and you'll get great insight into my main character, Paxton Youngblood. You'll see his struggles with morality, his struggles with his past, the things he's done, the way the world has treated him, and the whole goal of my series is essentially to bring light to the darkness of the world around them, to reach people who are just like broken, depressed, and despair. If they're willing to stick with my series long enough to provide an avenue to overcome. I have my own website, alanharrow.com, all one word. I'm active on Instagram and Threads at #AlanHarrow, the edgelord artist.
Yeah. So what topic are we doing today?
Okay. It's actually a very fun topic. I learned a lot. We are doing paleontologists, female paleontologists, because I love feminism and I love dinosaurs. So I only picked 4 because there were a lot more than I mean, like, obviously I knew there were a lot, but like I did not realize like how many actually made like important discoveries. Shocking. It's kind of like women are good at that. So I just did 4. The 4 like most well-known ones, or the ones that all the ones that I had heard of before. And I was kind of inspired to do this because there's a podcast that I really like called Weird and Dead, and it's hosted by 2 women who are also paleontologists, not like dinosaur paleontologists, like primate and reptile paleontologists. Either way, it's great. It's hilarious. You should listen to it. The first one I'm going to go over is probably one that most people have heard of, and that's Mary Anning. She was born in the UK in 1799 and she died in 1847. First of all, she started the study of coprolites, which, do you know what coprolites are? Fossilized poop.
Nope.
So nobody thought to study that or think about it or whatever. And she collected like so many fossils. It was wild. Like she just was really, really good at it. And she discovered I'm such a fucking nerd. I knew a lot of this already. That's how much of a fucking nerd I am about this stuff. She discovered the first complete skeleton or fossil, whatever, of an ichthyosaur. So those are the marine reptiles, like they took the same niches like dolphins, but they were like from a way super, super long time ago. Wild. Complete? Are you insane? It's like you get like a shoulder blade and that's it. She also discovered the first pterosaur to be discovered outside of Germany. Before that, they had only seen fossils in Germany, and she discovered it in the UK. Rad.
Dope.
And classic, obviously, her work, like, figuring out how to identify coprolites does so much for the field of paleontology, because you learn so much from stuff like that. She wasn't recognized for any of her work, obviously. She, like,
shocking.
Right? She worked with a lot of male paleontologists, like, and actively, like, supported them, and, like, with her work and her knowledge and her discoveries, and she didn't get any credit for it, and she was actually not even allowed to join the Geological Society of London, or receive any credit whatsoever.
Again, not shocked.
Not shocked. Oh, I forgot about this. She also discovered belemnite fossils, which are the egg sacs of, like, cephalopods, which is also pretty rad. Though basically the only way that she supported herself was she sold fossils, or her friend Henry Delabec, he did a lot of, like, those old-timey paintings of dinosaurs that you see in, like, museums and stuff?
Yeah.
He was one of those artists, and he painted a whole series on discoveries that she made, and he gave her the profits from those discoveries.
Wow, that's a gentleman. That's a real man.
Truly.
I'm shocked.
But yeah, tale as old as time. She struggled pretty much her whole life, and it was really difficult, and she didn't get any credit, even though she made some pretty groundbreaking discoveries. So, again, not surprising. Moving on to Tilly Edinger. She essentially created the field of paleoneurology, so, like, the study of brains in extinct animals and how brains evolved, like studying mammal brain, like, what's the difference between mammal brains and, like, reptile brains and dinosaur brains and bird brains and all of that stuff, and how, like, different parts evolved, which is really cool. I had heard of her. I did not know that part. And she studied a lot of, like, specifically extinct mammals to figure out, like, how their brains evolved over time. At the time, it was like, we are the end of evolution. So, like, how did our brains get here? She was born in Germany. She had to leave in 1933 because of the Nazi Party. Her family was Jewish, and they moved to the U.S., or she moved to the U.S., and she eventually lived in Cambridge, Massachusetts. She ended up being the president of the Vertebrate Paleontology Society.
Wow.
Yeah. And she still had to work with a lot of men to get any sort of, like, recognition, but she still got a lot more recognition than Mary Anning. But Mary Anning definitely, like, paved the way, and then for other women to come after her. The third one, who I'm sure you've heard of before, is Mary Leakey. She was born in 1913, and she passed away in 1996. I did not know. What I didn't know about her is that I don't know how to pronounce this, the Connell skull, which was like an extinct ape, like the very, very first, like one of the early common ancestors between like hominins and like other apes. And she did most of her work with her husband, Louis Leakey. They created the Leakey Foundation, which funded a lot of other zoologists and paleontology, like Jane Goodall. Her study of chimpanzees in Tanzania, that project was funded by the Leakey Foundation.
Okay.
But she did most of her work in Oldway Gorge in Tanzania. She developed the system for classifying stone tools. So, like, classifying them as far as like which species they belong to, which was really interesting. She create, like, there was not a system before that. Like, she was like, this specific characteristic is characteristic of like these and whatever. She discovered 15 new species of hominin, which is also insane.
Wow.
And she grew up sort of traveling all over the world. Like, her dad was like, I don't remember. He was like a railroad purchase agent or something like that. So he traveled a lot. He was like in Egypt and French and whatever. And they eventually moved back to the States in Indiana. And no, not Indiana. That was a different one. God, I'm dumb. Back to the UK. And she was enrolled in school and she got expelled immediately, almost. And then they enrolled her in another school and she caused an explosion in chemistry class and was expelled again. And then she didn't go. She just didn't go back to school. And her mother called Oxford and tried to get her enrolled, and they were like, don't even have her try. Like, she will get rejected. We don't want anything to do with her, basically. And that was the last she heard from him until 1981, where they gave her an honorary doctorate.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Hold on. There's a lot of this. There is a bit of her of juiciness happening in her life.
Don't ever say that again.
Oh, gross, disgusting. Ew. No, not like that. Okay. She met her husband, Louis Leakey, in 1934 while they were working on his book, Adam's Ancestors. She was helping him illustrate it. And during that time, they became romantically involved.
That's pretty cool.
Romantically involved. Leakey was still married, and his son Colin had just been born when they moved in with each other. Right? I was like, wow, you're kind of gross, disgusting. Not her, him, obviously. We support women's rights and wrongs over here at Living Understaffed. Don't look at me like that, Sarah.
I'm looking at my phone.
They ended up getting married in 1936. And they together had 3 sons, and they were married until his death in 1972.
Okay.
But yeah, the Leakey Foundation still does a lot of stuff. They fund, specifically, they do a lot of like women in STEM stuff, and they pay for they do a lot of like primate research, and they fund a lot of like grad students, and they have scholarships. They do a lot of stuff, and it's really cool. And I knew about that because of Jane Goodall. Like that's how she became famous, was because of that study. So that I thought was really cool. The last one.
Hi, I'm N.E. Butcher, and I am a paranormal romance author where she is a Grim Reaper and he is a demon with a soul. And they create a soul bond and really just fuck everything up. So I have special editions with foiled covers and sprayed edges that also come with artwork and an ebook so that you can keep this edition nice and pretty.
Out of all the people you've said so far, Jane Goodall is the only one I recognize. So great. At least there was one.
You're also not as much as like an absolute, like just a huge nerd about dinosaurs. So it's fine. Like,
true. Anyway, so who's the last one?
You might know her. If not, I will. Okay. Her name is Sue Hendrickson. She's the woman who discovered the largest, most complete Tyrannosaurus Rex fossil in the Chicago Field Museum, named Sue. You've seen pictures of it. I know you have.
I'm sure I have, but that doesn't mean I recognize this woman's name.
How could you not? Anyway, I didn't know her name either, which makes me feel bad.
I told you, I'm dumb.
You're not dumb. You're not dumb. You are just not as much of an like unhinged nerd about dinosaurs that I am. If I could do anything, it is talk about paleontology for a long time. So, you're welcome, everybody. She also didn't complete high school. She dropped out when she was 17. She became, in Florida, she became a diver and collected tropical fish off the Florida Keys during the part of the year, and then the other part of the year she was a lobster fisherwoman, whatever. So that's what she did for a long time. Eventually she moved to Seattle and got her GED, and she enrolled in the University of Washington for marine biology. Fun fact, one of the marine biology labs is near my hometown, which is very cool. There's a couple that are pretty close, actually. But she lived in Seattle for like a year, left, and then in 1963 she went back to diving, and she started doing like salvage diving. So she did that, and she mined for amber in the Dominican Republic, which I didn't even know that was a thing. Like there are like caves where you can find.
It's wild.
Insane. Like and she became one of the largest.
What a life.
Right?
Like what an adventure.
We're not even close to the end. She's a fucking badass. And the fact that she is diminished to just finding one of the most important fossils in the field of paleontology is insane, because she is already she's so cool. She was the largest amber provider to scientists during the 1980s. Excuse me. Wow. For those who don't know, women still couldn't have their own bank accounts. So exactly.
Yep.
She discovered she started paleontology when she accompanied Peter Larson, who was a colleague of hers, to Peru on on a dig, and she helped him with the project. And she herself discovered a bunch of Miocene, I don't know, sharks, seals, and dolphins. I think that's part of the Jurassic. Hold on.
My computer's running so slow right now that I can't even use Google. Like, it's just circle of doom. So all this information that I want to like contribute to the conversation is not going well for me.
Oh no.
So this is an educational session run by Erika.
No, so the Miocene is actually super recent. I was way off. It's from 23 million years ago to 5 million years ago. To put things in perspective, the asteroid extinction event happened 65 million years ago. So the Cretaceous is 65 million years ago to 200 million years ago. And then before that is the Jurassic, and before that is the Jurassic. I don't remember the ones before that. But anyway,
this was not an area of history that I enjoyed. So I don't have any memory of this from school.
We didn't learn this in school. This is my favorite. She followed him back to the Black Hills Institute in South Dakota, which was where Sue was discovered. In 1992, she went back to diving, doing expeditions on Cleopatra's royal quarters and Napoleon's lost fleet in the Nile, which I didn't even know Napoleon went there.
That's cool.
Yeah. In the year 2000, she earned an honorary doctorate from the University of Illinois and currently lives on an island off of Honduras.
Love that
just
for her.
dives. That's
Love
just
that.
what she does.
Dives and vibes.
Yes.
That's it.
She very, very badass. Very cool lady. Definitely my favorite on the list. Because also when I wrote down when she was born. She was born in 1949, which means she's 76. Yeah. So yeah, just like out there living her best life. Also,
dives and vibes, baby.
Right? The Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton that she found was found in 1990, which was the year I was born, which is one of the coolest things to happen. I'm just saying.
That's why you like dinosaurs so much. Your mom probably watched all the TV articles about it.
Probably.
All of the news release and all of the things. And that's just, you were in the womb chilling, listening to all that.
Maybe, but also the Berlin Wall fell when my mom was pregnant with me, and I have absolutely no interest in Cold War history, which I probably should, but I don't.
And I'm the opposite.
See? Here we are. We got this.
And I was born in 89, so like,
see?
Here we are.
See? You were just a little baby.
Yeah. I was a wee one.
A wee one.
I've been watching too many Irish shows. A wee one.
I exclusively watch British murder shows. You know this about me. It's literally all I want to watch. And people are like,
okay, then speaking of, you need to watch Department Q.
Okay.
You would love it. It's so good.
Where can I watch
so
it?
Good. Netflix.
Excellent. I know this is a short episode. This is all I have. I don't know why I thought it would last me longer.
That's totally fine. Because I normally would like Google things real quick and like contribute, but my computer and my brain capacity is Dark.
Fair enough.
Dark. Yeah, so we'll just wrap it. I will list all of the people that you mentioned in the show notes and add a little factoid, if you will, to our socials, and then we'll just call it a day.
Dude, we're doing our best. All right, I'm going to do the outro. All right, that's it for us, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Remember, we have 3 fantastic affiliates: Forever Storage, Everyday Dose, and Primal Queen. Side note, quickly, I am not a supplements person. It's not that I'm like against them or anything. I just like, I don't know. I've been taking Primal Queen for just over a month, and I'm like actually noticing a difference, like noticeable differences. Like, I have more energy. My period was way shorter, and I didn't have like debilitating cramps. Absolutely insane. Obviously, this is just my anecdotal experience, but best period of my life is all I'm saying. Also, I was awake all day yesterday. I didn't take a single nap. So look out.
Tragic. I took your nap for you because I took 4 naps.
Hell yeah.
Because that's where I'm at in life.
No,
that's a bad thing.
First of all, who wants to be awake in this economy? Not me.
Not a single fucking person. I can't. Anyway, do continue.
What was I saying? Oh, yes. Join our Discord. Leave us reviews. Willy-nilly. Please. We love it. Tell us how great we are. Please. And thank you. And remember, our book for this month was Between Hello and Goodbye by Emma Scott. Super excited about that one. Remember to check out our Linktree. We have merch. We have so many things. We love you so much. And without you, we'd be potting into the void.